Your arm going numb every time you raise it up isn't a weakness problem like you've been told. The reason why I say that is because I've helped thousands of people with this exact problem. And time again, the problem isn't weak muscles in the back, but instead it's actually three different areas that squeeze your nerves every time you bring your arm up. So today, not only am I going to show you the three spots creating that compression, but I'm also going to show you the best technique you can do right now to loosen each area so you can actually use your arms again. Plus, at the end, I'll be explaining to you why everybody recommends exercises and stretches even though they aren't working. Now, when it comes to pain in the fingers and the hands, most people are going to want to call it carpal tunnel, and let's be real, that makes sense. But here's the problem, right? Your symptoms are popping up every time you use your arms or shoulders, not just when you use your wrist. That's only where you're feeling it. In fact, let's test this out right now. Keeping your wrist in a neutral position, just basically keeping it straight, what you're going to do is take your arm and raise it up and hold it there for up to 60 seconds or until you begin to feel your pain. Now, once you begin to feel that pain, go ahead and stop and bring your arm down. But the question here is, why does that happen? Why do we feel this tingling pain every time we bring our arm up and then it stops when we bring our arm down? It all has to do with muscles that are chronically tight and not stretching to their full capacity. Well, and real quick, what we just did was a very general test so that we can see multiple muscles at the same time. If you want to know which specific muscle is creating your issues and how to actually get rid of that pain fast, then make sure to check out my free TOS toolkit in the description below or the pinned comment. You see, when a muscle gets overused, thanks to our daily activities, thanks to basically using it every day to bring our arms up, what will end up happening is it will get stuck in the short position, the same position it's being used in, which means when you try to actually stretch it out now, it can't fully stretch out, resulting in tightness and compression on the nerves and blood vessels that run right behind it. This is why your whole arm and fingers and hands go numb every time you bring your arm up. You're basically squeezing the end of the hose somewhere up here in the shoulders and chest, but then you end up feeling it all the way down in the fingers, which is where the water stops coming out, right? When you squeeze one end of the hose, the water stops coming out on the other end. It's essentially what's happening here every time you bring your arm up. Now, the three main spots you can actually feel this compression is one, underneath the collarbone, where the nerves and blood vessels pass between the first ribs and the clavicle. The second one is the top of the chest, where your nerves are going right behind the pec minor. And then you have the top of the bicep or the bottom of the shoulder, whichever one you want to call it here, where again you have muscles that are right next to the nerves and blood vessels, which can easily get chronically short and tight every time you use them. And just to prove this to you real quick, go ahead and place two fingers on the top of your chest with your arm completely relaxed. Now go ahead and raise your arm, and you will begin to feel those muscles slowly contract. You don't even got to bring it all the way up. Bring it out in front of you as if you were typing, driving, doing whatever, because now you're actually recreating your daily life where you're actually using all these different muscles in these areas every single day. So now when you try to stretch it out by raising the arm, it is so tight and locked up because it's being used daily that it can't stretch anymore, resulting in that tightness on the nerves and blood vessels behind it. The more times you're using your arms this way, the more likely these muscles are going to get locked up at some point in your life. Now, I know I said earlier I'm going to talk about this at the end, but it makes a lot of sense now. Why doesn't stretching actually help this? And the reason why is because the tissues are basically locked, we'll call it, quote unquote, in this shortened position. So when you try to stretch a muscle that is locked up, that has a knot in it, essentially, then what you're doing is basically nothing. You're just stretching the muscle. It's going to loosen up for a few seconds, and that's going to go right back to the way it was, which is why it doesn't help. You either have to hold these stretches for like 3 to 5 minutes, like long holds, or you just have to do something else prior, which is to loosen the muscles first. See, that knot I was talking about earlier, that's essentially what we call a trigger point or a fascia restriction. Basically, the tissues like the muscle and the fascia and all that, they are stuck together and they're not able to slide past one another, which is why it cannot stretch out. So our goal here is to manually manipulate these tissues with some self-massage techniques so that these tissues can now slide and the arm can now move freely. Go ahead and begin massaging it out, just rubbing across it for 30 seconds to a minute with light to medium pressure. What you're doing here is two things. One, we're trying to just warm up the tissue, get some blood flow going, get some toxins out. But two, we're also trying to look for the most tender spots so that we can actually target it for the next technique. Now, that next technique, by the way, is a pin and stretch. Once you're done massaging it out, warming it up, pin down that tender spots with the arm in a forward position, and then bringing that arm back with that same spot pinned down. This is going to help not only open up the tissues, help slide, but it's also going to stretch the muscle out at the same time, killing two birds with one stone here. Now, right next to the pec minor is the subclavius. Now, to massage out your subclavius, which is that little muscle underneath the collarbone, all you essentially got to do is just find the most tender spots underneath the clavicle and begin rubbing it out for 30 seconds to warm it up. The way this muscle can create tightness is basically by pulling the first rib and clavicle together when it gets tight and keeping it in that locked position, which means it's going to squeeze on your nerves and blood vessels every time you raise your arms now. So even though the muscle itself isn't doing the squeezing, it is the bones it is attached to and pulling together that's creating the squeezing itself. Now, once you're done warming up the muscle, go ahead and do a pin and stretch. Pin down that muscle, and then just take your arm and roll it in different directions, forward, backward, as much range of motion as you can get within the shoulder. Now, the third muscle that most people tend to ignore here is going to be the coracobrachialis. In the top of the bicep, all you're going to do is basically strum across the top of it. And you're looking for essentially a road bump. You may run into two of them, with one being super tiny and one being bigger. The tiny one is essentially a nerve, and if you run over it, you will feel a little zap. It's okay. Don't press too hard. Just look for the muscle, and then we can start working on it. Again, you're just strumming the top of the bicep, looking for the most tender spots while also warming the entire thing up. And once you believe you found that tender spot, just press into it with medium or firm pressure, and then move your thumb up and down and side to side, basically just trying to rub that area out, trying to get the tissues moving, trying to open up the tissues and separate them. Now, for all these techniques, go ahead and warm them all up for 30 seconds and then do the actual technique for a full minute. Now, after going through each muscle, maybe even doing it twice, go ahead and retest to see if raising your arm again creates that tingling pain. Because for a lot of you, that's going to help you get rid of your numbness real quickly. You just loosen all the areas that's creating that compression in the first place, which means your nerves have space to move throughout your arm anytime you try to raise it up now. But here's the problem. That relief is only going to last a few days, maybe a week or two tops. If all you did was just loosen up these muscles, well, sadly, you're going to go back to your day-to-day life, which means these muscles are going to go right back to that locked position. This is what they remember. This is what the brain remembers. And to be clear, that doesn't mean the release techniques failed. In fact, we were able to open up the tissues and get space for the nerves. But we have to give your body a reason to keep that space. So now the question is, how do we make this release technique stick? I actually had a client recently that had this exact problem, where they would just ritually massage every single muscle out in their body so that they can feel the relief that you get when you loosen the tissues. But the problem was the results were never sticking and they could never figure out why. And it all came down to going back to those exercises that you've been trying to do already. You see, once you loosen up the tissues on one side of the body, the pec minor, subclavius, coracobrachialis, all the muscles over here, you then have to strengthen the weaker muscles in order to keep that space. Because what you don't realize yet is that the weaker muscles, like the rhomboids and the lower traps, they also attach to the scapula, the same way how things like the pec minor and coracobrachialis does, which means they share the same joints, which means they are opposing muscles essentially. So when one muscle gets tight and overused, it will actually make the other muscles, your back muscles, weak and lengthened. This is why they want you to strengthen these muscles because they're trying to open up that space manually, but they're trying to do it by strengthening the back first. But now that you loosen the tissues and even stretch them at the same time with the massage techniques, with the pin and stretch, you can now go back and do those exercises for your rhomboids, for your lower traps, because now they will be able to fire up much easier and you'll be able to keep those results a lot longer. By partnering up the massage and the training portion at the same time and targeting the correct muscles that actually oppose each other, we can actually get rid of your pain fast with the massage part and then help you keep it away with the exercise portion. Now, if you're not sure which muscle is actually creating your issues yet, because we did go through a few of them, then make sure to check out my free TOS toolkit because inside of there, you're gonna get the 5 best tests for nerve pain, how to fix it quickly, and even the step-by-step system that you need to go through to fix this on your own. I also got a few more bonuses thrown in there, but I'm not going to spoil that for you. If you want to download your free TOS toolkit, then make sure to click on the link in the description below or the pinned comment.